in productivity, what to use this AI technology or AI things for.
I don't let an AI assistant write the whole sentence for me.
With AI, if you're actually not on the tech industry, artificial intelligence is a really buzzing word when it comes to 2025 when we are moving to 2026 year. So more recently, artificial intelligence came up in everywhere, right? Like even from starting from ChatGPT, Gemini, and now even on Grok and even on smartphones, laptops, and even smart refrigerators are there. So AI or artificial intelligence is a now really hot thing or hot technology, a kind of a technology that people use every single day, right? So in today's episode of Aprender podcast, we decide to talk about the use cases of AI in our everyday life. Like for me and Kanishka, we both are in tech industry, so we use this thing every single day. But we thought about average consumers, like non-tech person. So imagine you are really into or you heard the word AI and the tools like ChatGPT and the routine of yours or the daily routine of yours will not be a full technical one. So that way you might not have a clear idea about how to use AI or what are the things or what are the points that you can use AI for. So today's episode, we're going to break it down or we're going to help you to find a better use case with AI in your every single day or day to day life tasks. So, I am Udara, your host.
I'm Kanishka.
So, welcome to Aprender Podcast, 25th episode. Aiboa.
Iborn. Iborn.
Aibo. Aibo. So much, I guess. It's been a while.
Yeah.
We are back again. We are back again at this. So today's episode is kind of when we both discuss about this topic or the episode that we're gonna do today is really today's episode is really good. So we actually used AI to get the actual script written out to ourselves to get this episode done with. So yeah, here's how we're gonna do this today's episode. So we'll be not make this episode a really long one. What we're planning to do is we are sectioning the episode with highlighted areas that we are planning to cover, which include like personal and productivity stuff, which will be like your day-to-day task or your office or your day, let's say studies or a personal what do you call productivity task that you can incorporate AI tools and types of tasks that will make things a bit easier. Okay. Yeah, AI and productivity or AI and task management is one section. Today we're going to discuss. The second one will be AI in writing in general. And later we'll discuss about really good area we thought that we should address like AI in smart homes and even in like our day-to-day life like in kitchen actually like meal prepping and everything. So let's try to get into the episode of today's AI integration in our day-to-day life, like everyday life. Okay, Machang, I'll start or I'll go with the first section that we plan to discuss today, which will be on productivity, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Machang. So AI in productivity or AI for personal what you call task management and day-to-day task management. First section we'll discuss of the first use case. Actually, in this sense, today's episode we will discuss these things in use cases. So that way you will get a clear idea about what to use this AI technology or AI things for, right? So the first section that we planning to cover is like AI for personal and productivity. Inside that section, we'll get a one use case. Actually, we might discuss one or two or even three use cases when it comes to the sections we have defined here. Under the AI and personal productivity, I'm going to explain how you can use artificial intelligence for task management. So, task management, this is something really new that we got into like actually 2 to 3 years ago back when we were in university or when we started our careers in tech. Because in our day to day life, we might have to get a lot of things done, right? average person, you have to remember certain things when it comes to your work life and your personal life also. So a problem Kanchka and we both had was like how to like keep a track of the things that we need to do. First, the way I started this, or the approach I took was like to write down the things that I need to done or get done. So that way is a good start, but it was not a practical thing. So that's why we started to search for like tools like to-do list or even Microsoft To Do. And if you are advancing in it, you can use Notion and base simple tool like what do you call Apple reminders. Actually, I was kind of like obsessed with these to-dos and everything. Then I found about Microsoft To Do and even Notion and all. But one day Kanshka showed me like, yeah, that's good. But have you tried like Apple reminders, the default app Apple give you? Like that way onwards, I'm a fully Apple reminders guy now. Just because when it comes to this is like my own theory. When it comes to productivity, things should be clear and easy to get to know or make a remind of, right? So if you like, let's take a tool like if you are not heard about these like productivity tools we are mentioning, just Google it. Most of these are really famous. You will get a clear idea about how to use them or what to use them. When it comes to Notion, for example, it was a really complicated tool, but now they have developed it to be like more simple one. But
Yeah. So probably some of them are aware about tools like Grammarly, Microsoft Copilot, and also ChatGPT, Grok. They all do the same AI writing assistant part for us. But I haven't used Jasper, and I think even in Notion there is like a AI assistant that we can use to change the tone and everything else and make modifications to the content that we write. But I think this writing assistant tool is kind of a real productivity booster for the ones who actually whose their first language is not English, because I think we also struggle some of the time to having grammar incorrectly, and sometimes we might not due to English is not being our first language, we might come across as offensive. Sometimes we might convey our message in a different way. But right now these writing assistants, they help us to convey some of the messages or emails and stuff like that, or even the content that we post on social media. We might be able to like tweak its content based on the tone and fixing the grammar, and also like use it for a couple of things. The thing is like I this is my personal opinion. I don't let an AI assistant write the whole sentence for me. What I do is I write the sentence with I don't even worry about the spellings as well. But I write the whole sentence with its meaning, with my tone and everything attached. And I ask it to do not remove my tone, do not make any modifications to the sentence I made, just fix the grammar only. And it provides me with a, I hope it's correct, but it provides me with like a grammar fixed version of it. And also sometimes I use a technique called removing biases. Sometimes because when we write emails and when we write social media content, we are prone to some biases, right? And it will draw attention from people, and also sometimes it may conflict with the audience that we try to send our messages. So what I do is there are like a couple of cognitive biases. So I ask the AI assistant to remove these biases and make it sound more like neutral. So anyone who is engaging with my email or message or content that I post, they might not feel conflicted, even though that is not entirely our control. But still, that's like I use for my day-to-day activities of using writing assistants. And the more I used it, now right now when I'm writing even just messages, when I'm writing messages, I feel like I am like moving into, my messages are kind of more neutral than I used to write before. So it's like a really game changer for me. I think like right now like lots of the professionals are using these techniques to fix their grammar and be more professional and confident looking and convey their messages in a productive way.
yeah, yeah, I have a small thing to add on to that, Pancha. Uh, we graduated in a non-AI era, right?
Yeah.
So we completed our researches. We have done 2 researches in our graduate days. So we did all without AI. We wrote like a this kind of a size research paper without a single
Yeah.
tool or AI-based tool used, right? We didn't even had like Grammarly or something. The later part of the university life, we had Grammarly, and we were really stressing out about even plagiarism also.
Yeah.
We were not sure, like I don't like had a clear idea about my own writings because then when our supervisor is checking for plagiarism, I was like pretty nervous, like because we have to do that thing all over again, right? But Machang, like few months back, there are some interns with my workplace, so I had a chat with them for their final year researchers. Like I was like, "What's your final year research? So how did you find it?" He said to me like, "We perplexity tried." Perplexity, you heard of it? Like we said, like we need a final year research, and it found a topic and everything.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, like imagine having that kind of a tool back in the day,
Yeah.
right? I'm not saying like we did the thing in a hard way and you should be doing that thing in the hard way, same hard way, but this is good, right? But to be honest, I have a little proud on myself a bit. My wife completed masters, so she is pretty proud of herself. She wrote or she completed a full masters without a single use of AI tool. So it's actually not a valid thing, but it's something that we can cherish on, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that you shouldn't be using AI. Please do use AI. And as Kanishka mentioned, the trick Kanishka told me right now to be not being not biased on the sentences or things that we are saying is actually a pretty actually, that is something I consider really gold because as humans, Majang, if we know something is correct, obviously there is something wrong, right? We are comparing always if I'm justifying something as the correct one and there should be a opposite one, right? So sometimes we are biased with something, right? Might be our own usage or might our friend influence us to be the correct thing or get the correct thing. That way we might be there is a probability, there is a higher probability that we are biased on things when it comes to politics and everything I'm talking about. So that use case of asking ChatGPT or any UI AI you are using to be non-biased is actually a really good thing. If you're in a professional environment, please use that trick. That will help you a lot and you will sounds a lot better when it comes to your output with your writings. And also another small thing, Maja. So I see a lot of people. I was actually pretty amazed the way how these youngsters are using AIs other than ChatGPT because Chat currently, if it is AI, lot of people think it's ChatGPT, right? It's like a really common tool. They use ChatGPT for everything. But in 2025 and we are going to 2026, certain AI tools are specialized or designed specially for certain tasks. For example, ChatGPT in general, yes, it's good. It's really good for programming, creative writing, copywriting, everything. It's pretty good. But have you guys heard of Claude? It's a parent company, as I remember, Anthropic. They created this model called Claude, which is really good at creative writing. If you're into creative writing, if you're like a journalist or someone, please use Claude. Based on the user reviews, it is really good at creative writing. Maths and everything for maths and programming, GPT obviously is really good. And now I think Grok is leading that front with Grok 4.0, which is like in a higher price tier. So you might have to think twice before using Grok. Grok is good, but I don't think for certain tasks I ask him to do, Grok is not at a level of ChatGPT for certain ways, but from the benchmarks and the results, it shows that Grok is really good now. The thing is, these tools are evolving pretty fastly, right? If you're using it, please be smart about the way you use it for. right? Because I have in my professional life, I have seen lot of youngsters using AI or chat GPT to write emails, and they even copy paste like for some there was an incident like they copy paste the I'm asking ChatGPT to write something, right? So he is telling me, okay, based on your request, below is the writing, and he copied all the thing, and that here's the writing part also inside that mail. So imagine sending that to a business customer, business user. That's really not good. But please use those tools for education. These are really well, like really optimize. Another trick that I use up to this date now, if there is a new technology or new tool that I need to be familiar with, I'm basically asking ChatGPT to do a deep research and create a learning material or create a learn path so I can get a better understanding about certain thing. So that way, it's a really good thing that might help you with. Yeah, Macha. When it comes to AI in productivity and personal growth, that these parts that we discuss are a really plus one, right? That we can offer for the audience that of our episode. Yes, I think these are the information from our experience and our use cases of the AI because now, from the day one, we use ChatGPT, right? When it was a hot thing released in the industry, we used ChatGPT. Now, our organization officially offering the paid versions to the employees. It's that good. So, but be smart about the way you use it and be cautious about the things it provide, right? If you go to ChatGPT right now, I'll go to ChatGPT, start a new chat, then you are asking something. uh, ChatGPT say, yeah, in the first answer, before you say it's sharing an answer to you, there is a banner called ChatGPT can make mistakes. Check important info. So please be aware of the tools that you are using, right? Okay, so we'll move to the second section. Okay, I in our everyday life. So I hope the previous section was a really good one. So you might get at least one new thing to your life, to your productivity things to be smart about. This another thing, another segment will be like AI for smart living, right?
I think probably you have used a couple of IoT related things, right? I know like you had, yeah, Apple HomePod, and you had the whole Apple ecosystem integrated into your home, right? So you are the suitable guy to explain this whole segment when it comes to AI smart living.
Yes, yes. Okay, what I set up was like it was like a basic IoT integration. I had a HomePod Mini, so I added certain smart devices to my home and did some like let's say what I did was I bought a HomePod Mini, then I bought some Apple HomeKit supported electronic devices like LED bulbs that we are using that I'm using currently right now. This is a I think the brand is like Xiaomi or something. They create this Apple's home kit supported devices. So I bought this one and I even bought certain smart switches also. So what I did was I just wanted to the my use practical use case was this. So imagine I'm a person who forgets to do a lot of things, right? When I'm leaving my room, my fan will be on rotate. I always forgot to switch off the fan, right? So what I did was I bought a smart switch and connected it to the home pod. And when I'm away from the home, from the Apple's home app, you can do a like write automated script. Let's say if my location is not on home, switch all off these outlets. This is the small automation I wrote. It's a really small thing. AI is not included in there. So this was like back in 2 to 3 years, right? And I'm actually pretty lazy to get off from the bed to switch off the light on my room. So I put a switch there. So from my mobile phone, I switch off the room's light. These are like pretty silly, but for me, really useful things that I implemented. And now, like, we are fast forwarding to 2025, and now everything is like voice command supported. Like even Siri is not actually that smart. It actually to this date can't process certain queries I'm asking, but I have seen demos with like Amazon Echo and even Google Assistant, now Gemini, I think they have their own products called Google Nest or something. Yeah, Google Nest. Those things are natural language supported. Like if you just have to ask some to do something, right? You just don't have to get your phone and switch off those switches automatically. You just had to ask like switch on my room's light. It will switch on the light. The AI integration on this much, back in the day, Siri was also able to do this. But for certain things, let's say I have renamed my office working table light as office lamp. Okay. Sometimes she does not pick my language. She just ignores me. Okay, I'm Sri Lankan. I'm not a fluent at pronunciations and everything. She just there's like a in HomePod. There's a LED bulb or display thing. It's pop up. I'm waiting her to do that. She's not doing anything, right? But now, Machang, she like can really understand what I'm saying. Like I'm not saying the things that I'm telling her to do, but the things I'm asking, she'll pick it right up. Even Siri, Machang. So I can only imagine how good Amazon Echo, Google are right now. I believe this is because of the usage of Indian users. They have a really good pronunciation or really good accent when it comes to English. So I think now the AI integration with natural language processing is really at a higher level, and even in translations also, Masha. I've seen like Google translation demos, like they do real time translation, right? It does not matter whether you can speak English or any other language. You just had get the app open and it have a live translation feature, which will do the translation. I saw even with Apple's AirPods, Machan, they are getting real time translations. Like if you are using AirPods, if the person next to you is speaking on another language, it will real time translate everything to you. Imagine being at that level, like that's a really good implementation, right? So don't worry if you're not fluent with English or if you don't understand English. Use these tools. Google Translation is really good. I think app is Google Translator. I think now it is fully integrated with Google Gemini. And also, if you let's say back in the day, what I used to do is if I find something that I don't understand in English, I copy that and I paste that into Google Translate and translate it to Sinhala, which will translate it to Sinhala, but the context are not matching much for certain paragraphs that I've pasted. I have clearly I remember being noticing these things like they are literally translating the things to Sinhala, right? But now let's take ChatGPT. Please paste a paragraph to her and ask her to translate it. She has a genderifying ChatGPT to she. Ignore that. Ignore that. But ChatGPT have a clear idea about the context of it, right? So this is a really good way you can use ChatGPT or any tool to learn something or understand something, right? So back to home automation and everything. Yes, natural language processing or natural language picking is really good right now. So all the AI hubs and everything are really easily picking up the things that you are saying to them. Yes, Maja. So another, what else when it comes to like smart home living?
So I think like if everything is connected, and let's assume this is like a big if, but let's assume we have connected, we have a smart home. Basically, everything is connected to internet, and everything can be controlled using our phones, right? And we have connected AI also in we have brought AI also into the equation, and assume that we have some sort of a, let's say you and I going to record a podcast session, and one of us went to the office and running kind of late, and we have this calendar invite which is saying we need to record a podcast at 8 o'clock, and we are running late, and the AI assistant knows about it, and soon we getting closer to the home, it will, you know, do the things that we were used to do when we having a normal day, the things that turning on the kettle and turning on the lights, turning on ACs, turning on the computer, likewise to get us prepared for the episode that we're going to do as soon as we get home. Something like this can be doable, right? What do you think?
Yeah, I think with the current technology available in the world, I think this is possible. But you want it, but I don't want it. Like it's something like creeps me out, but actually it's really good. Like let's say for certain if you're like a professional content creator or someone that have a routine of things that you need to do when it comes to a certain thing, this kind of help is a really good to save some time, right? So actually when it comes to save the time, a lot of things that we are doing with AI and everything, if you're summarizing something, if you are like finding a research topic or writing a research paper, using perplexity or any other tool will save us time, right? If also like there are certain I have met certain university students that they are not really good at, or they have this what do you call, they are pretty nervous when it comes to speaking in English. Kind of there are certain language barriers in Sri Lanka, but let's say I found certain guys that really good at the job or the requirement that I need them to do, but they are not good at communicating it, right? So what we used to do back in the day to get our English, spoken English, or the way to improve it was like watch a movie with English subtitle, right? This was like the one-on-one option that you can use. Don't use it like every single day. Obviously, don't use single subtitle. That will not help you in anything, because eventually your brain will skip the English audio part and it will start to read the subtitles in single, right? That's actually the logic behind the subtitles. So that way you will get the other instrumental sounds and not get the voice audio. Our head will read the subtitles. So that way our brain is getting clear understanding about the movie or TV series that you are watching with single subtitles. But when it comes to English, your brain has to process that, right? So it is like, okay, that I heard it like that, but it actually this. So that way our brain will like rewire into coordinating in the same language. So please use this technique, but don't use this every day. If you're at a level, please watch some movies without any subtitles, so that way you will be in a good what do you call understanding of the language. So for the language barrier, you can use a lot of AI related tools like ChatGPT and even Google Translate or Google Gemini and everything to translate certain things, to identify the meaning of the certain words. Back in the day, we used Madhura dictionary, which did not had every word in it, but now you can get idea about the words and the context behind it. So please use these tools. Again, I reverted back to the productivity and writing tools. But yes, when it comes to home automations and everything, another good use case that Kanishka found was like there are certain Samsung refrigerators, Machang, which will monitor the content inside the refrigerator, and if certain things are running out of the stock, it will put a order. Like imagine that, like you are running out of milk or eggs, and it will automatically put an order in Uber Eats or any key, let's say Keels or anywhere, to get those things to your home. You just had to open the door, get those things ordered, put it in back into the refrigerator. This is actually generative image processing kind of AI implementation, but this is actually really good. If you are like if you are a really busy person, this will actually save you a lot of time, and this might actually eventually limit your what do you call eating out habits or junk food habits, because you have or you always have something in your refrigerator, right? So these kind of implementations are already live. So there are certain products with Samsung, and I saw even with LG, they have not implemented certain like popular AI things because of the what do you call rivalry because between the certain organizations. But due to some partnerships, they have implemented certain things. Samsung having their own AI called Bixby integrated refrigerators are there, and even for smart ACs are now here. They will actually get an idea about the room temperature, and it will balance it out, or it will optimize the power utilization and everything with artificial intelligence. These things are really good because in Sri Lanka we don't have like certain weather periods, right? All of a sudden it's raining,
Yeah.
right? The AC is actually pretty smart. It will I realize that outside is at this temperature, so inside should be balance out humidity, so it will act smartly. These tools are there, but the thing is the AI implemented refrigerators or AI implemented ACs are freaking expensive. There should be a the really good financially stable level to even purchase these things. That's like the only what do you call the downside of these things. These things are expensive, but even the home automation things are expensive. Yeah, but it will actually really save you some time. Uh, and I think so this implementation of AI based AC, which are pioneered by LG, is like the world best power efficient AC
Okay.
because of this thing. So actually, it will be expensive purchase, but it will eventually justify your expense in it. So do your own research on this. This is just something I saw at The Verge in a review article. Yeah, so for home and everything, you can use this, and even also for like smart refrigerators are yes, that is good. But I remember back in the day, Machang, when the ChatGPT was originally released, I think it's ChatGPT 3 or something. They did a demo, Machang, in a table. There were like eggs, onions, and certain stuff. You take a picture and give it to the ChatGPT and asks it to share a recipe by using these ingredients only. It actually generated a recipe based on the ingredients available, so you can use that. If you are not into cooking, or if you're not aware, if you're like a college student or someone, you can use ChatGPT to get a recipe and get a step by step guide to create some food that you can eat. Right? That's actually a really good practical implementation, I think, because cooking is something that not everyone is fond of, but it helps like this. You can be a like Michelin star chef, right? Yeah. So these kind of things are you can actually use for your like day to day life, right? So it's live your life in a smart way. These are the things that you need to follow, I think, and we believe. Yes. So then for the next section, we will be moving to. Yes, this is a really good section. Please pay attention. This will be our fifth practical use case with AI in this episode. Yes, I have to put a small ad insert to this before we move into this section. Yes, Aprender podcast. We are on YouTube and everywhere. But yes, we do our audio episode first. We are distributing our audio episodes to every audio platforms available for podcasting when it comes to Apple podcast, YouTube podcast, even Spotify podcast, and everywhere else. We are putting our video episodes on our video platforms like YouTube after our publication of our audio episodes. Yes, please share this episode with your friends or anyone if you have learned something from this, or if you want to learn many things from our episode. Please go listen to our old episodes or watch old episodes on Aprender Podcast at YouTube. It's Aprender Podcast everywhere when it comes to our social. If you want to reach us or if you want to give feedback to us, please comment on our YouTube videos. In active forum, we are really active on LinkedIn. Please get back to us or reach back to us in LinkedIn or any way you are more comfortable with. Yes, please share with your friend and subscribe to Aprender Podcast YouTube channel also. Okay, now moving back to the next use case, practical use case of AI. This is actually much a really good thing. AI in navigation and traffic routing, right?
So, do these things like exist in today Google Maps?
I think it does, Majam, because let's say I've always thought like for if you have used I know of course you have used Google Maps at least once in your life, right? So in a like urban area, it will track all the Google users and it will put together a map. And if you might notice, you might see like in a route that you are tracking, there might be some red areas. Those areas are the highly populated ones when it comes to traffic, right? That is not a AI thing. That is like a actual data manipulation thing. It will actually get the user data and it shows this to all the users. But let's say you want to go from A to B. Let's say I'm at A position and I need to go to B position. There are three routes that I can go there, right? Google Maps is smart enough to show me the quickest way by not only by the distance, Macha. When it calculating this the quickest way, it will skip all the traffic jams and everything. Sometimes I have the practical experience with this. Sometimes it is showing the longest way just because it does not having any traffic blockers. technically I'm routing to the quickest way. I'm not sure this is AI kind of thing, but at that second it's do all the processing, right? In a real time environment, I believe this will be categorized into some AI or data manipulation when it comes to machine learning or something. I'm not pretty sure about this, but this is like something really took a note in me, because actually it's really helpful, right? With the medium you are trying.
When you say that it shows us the like the quickest way of arriving at our destination, I think you're correct to that, because I experienced something similar to that. Because when we drive and when we use Google Maps, it tends to get used to our driving or routing habits that we day to day using. Most of the time, I tend to prefer to use. Sometimes I say shortcut, but it's not a shortcut, but it's like a less traffic road that I want to travel to get to the destination kind of a fast way. So, and because of that, if I'm driving to something not similar, like if I'm driving to a place where I'm not traveling daily, the map is new to the Google Map as well, because I haven't been there. And sometimes it gives me very, very bad routes, which is not suitable for a vehicle to be driven on. And those routes are kind of really small and they have really big holes in the middle. And it makes it much harder for me to travel. But I get it, because it things like if I use a less traffic route to get to the destination, it thinks that like it's something I want, and it covers my objective or something like that to arrive faster, but it gives me something else. So that's when you say it like that, I think it's using that type of kind of a AI kind of a thing into Google Maps.
Yes, in more recently, Machan, I have noticed small new feature with Uber, right?
Mm.
Currently, I'm living the place I'm living in, which is apartments. So I'm not on the ground floor, right? So I'm at a level above from the ground floor, right? So when I place an order or a order for a Uber, I have noticed that in Uber app, Machan, let's say driver is arriving to the location, pickup location within like 5 minutes. Uber app is suggesting me like after 1 minute, please get up and go to the pickup location. So that way you are coming to the pickup location at the same time as the driver. I noticed it like all of a sudden Uber is putting a new notification say, okay, now get off from your apartment so you can be at time for the arrival of the driver. So this is a good thing. The place I live in have a elevator, but imagine a place that you have a staircase or something. So this will come in handy, right? So you actually can avoid any hassle or any waiting charges from the drivers end. And actually, this is a pretty helpful thing that I noticed with Uber, Macha. Right? Yes, those are like things for the navigation, and also the next use case I saw, I heard the use case in actually booking.com, right? For your trip plannings and everything. Let's say I tried this with Grok for a trip planning part. It was like superb. It will get all the information of the best reviewed restaurants and everything. So I'm saying like I need, okay, list me all the best restaurant in, let's say, Thailand. It will suggest me all the restaurants, and I'm asking you to plan a trip that I need to cover all those restaurants, and it will give a really good, well timed out. So you have to map out a locations that those restaurants are available. So you have to find a place to stay close to the restaurant that you need to go and everything. So for planning and everything, this is like a game changer. At the same time, booking.com and Agoda and everything onboarded these AI kind of things. So that way they are suggesting like they know that this is this, let's say they do have all the data, right? So if I'm doing a restaurant or hotel, they have the information whether I'm typically getting a lot of bookings to my place or not, right? What they do, Maja, based on the, what do you call, busyness of that place or the demand for that place, they are offering certain discount. These things are fully AI, Maja. the amount they are calculating, as I looked into, there are certain discounts that are available that we can allow. If the vendor is allowing the certain discount, it will offer certain discount to the users. Like what they do basically is, Macha, marketing team will get the users attention. You have to convert that attention into a business, right? Converting users attention into a business part is now mostly handled by AI stuff in booking.co. So you are you are checking out a really nice hotel, right? It's really expensive. Okay, now you see, okay, it's really expensive. We can't go there. All of a sudden, you get a discount. Okay, this is what it used to be. Okay, now we can, like, this is a offer, so we will be missing out if we not used it. So that's like a mental kind of trick, but they are actually converting the users' interest into a proper business, right? That benefiting all the like end users and the vendors and everyone. So these kind of implementations are there for, but average consumers, we are not what you call or if you're not a hotel owner, please use those tools to plan out a proper trip. That is a really good thing. I think ChatGPT and even Google, Gemini can summarize the reviews, user-based reviews, right? So it will actually, let's say there is a restaurant with 4.9 stars, but really bad reviews. It can actually identify those things. Those, like we have mentioned, actually 6 use cases right now, right?
Yeah.
That you can actually use to your day-to-day life to improve yourself with AI if you're actually not on the tech industry. Yes, please use these tools that we have mentioned, like To Do, Notion, what else we mentioned, ChatGPT, Claude, Grok. Use these things, find the best one that suits you. We are not asking you to pay or buy the pro version of any of it. Please try these things out first and then move. You decide if you need the paid version or not. But I think you don't have to pay for anything because of AI competition. A lot of people are offering free stuff now. Yes, I hope in this episode we have clearly mentioned like 6 to 7 things that you can use AI for your daily tasks, right? Anything else we miss, Maja?
I actually have like a real scenario where I
Yes.
wanted to like share that with you because a couple of months back my mother-in-law she got diagnosed with chikungunya and she had medicine, like basic medicine, and as soon as she took the medicine she felt better, and when she stopped it the symptoms came back again, and it was really severe and it's kind of really painful. And I I didn't know like who to consult and what to do. So what I did was I reached out to ChatGPT, told ChatGPT what's the scenario, what is the diagnosis, and these are the symptoms, and this is what happened. Like explain the scenario, and ChatGPT suggested me which type of consultant I should be having a meeting, and after that it asked me, do you want me to do a search and find out a better like a good consultant for you, and it did the search and I told where I was living, and it suggested me 4 hospitals nearby me and told me exact times which this doctor would be available, and only thing it didn't do for me is making the appointment. Everything it suggests me from which type of consultation I'd be looking at, and the traffic and the time and everything was there. I just had to, and also it found me a website where I can do the online reservation for the consultation, and I did the online reservation, and yeah, the doctor gave her medicine, which is really good, kind of a steroid kind of a thing, and that dramatically or drastically, her symptoms and everything went down within a couple of days. So that's a really good. I think that's also like a really good use case that we can use right now for doctor's appointments.
Yes, that's really good, Majang. Another small thing I have also done, Majang. Let's say if you are my mother, she's having certain allergies with certain medicines, Majang. So, when she asked me to get these medicines, Majang, what I do is I do a deep research on Grok regarding those medicines with the what do you call allergies and symptoms. I'm not a doctor, but that actually give me like a small bit of confidence regarding, okay, this is good, this is will not have any issue on her. Like, we do this, I'm not advising to do this, because there are certain professionals called doctors actually really mastered this stuff, because AI things are fetching certain information from online players, so we can't like 100% guarantee certain things unless you are like using tool like Perplexity or something, which you can filter out like researchers or academic researchers or medical researchers only. Or else please be cautious when you're using these AI tools to health related stuff. But another thing I do, Machan, this is like really small thing, but I'm giving ChatGPT, like I have 1 hour, I need to burn 400 calories. So suggest me a workout. I need it to be a full workout, focus more on legs and everything. I mentioned the requirement, it generates it much. It generates it, but for one time I tried the whole workout routine. I thought I died that day, but it was really freaking hard, because then I thought about why that thing happened to me, because it does not have a idea, or I even told it that I'm from Sri Lanka. It's a really hot day. The time I'm going to the gym, I haven't mentioned anything. I just asked for the workout. I think that's why it had that effect. So be careful the way you use the technology. Yeah, that's pretty much it for today, right, Maja? Yeah, we have done a lot of trending things like the timely things, but we took a step back and we wanted to actually give something for non-technical audience that we have here, because this episode will be a great help for them to identify or get their understanding on the AI and technology things that they can actually use for their average day-to-day life work. Yes, Machan. So let's meet with another episode. We will publish this episode as soon as possible, and of course, we will publish audio episode first. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Jai Veva.
Jai